Hello everybody. This is Segba again. Coming in to say Happy New Year, Bonne année. I made a promise, and as they say, a promise is a debt. I had said I would come in maybe, I was expecting maybe New Year's Day or the day after to come in and say my Happy New Year and Bonne année things, but then I didn't get the time to get it done. I wasn't in the right frame of mind to get it done at the time. And then before I blinked, it's already January 7th. We are well into the year. Well into the year, relatively. 7 days, 1 week into a new year. But I think the year is still new. And it's not too late to come and wish you and your families a happy 2024. And in the same breath, say thank you for a wonderful 2023. It had its hiccups, it had its ups and downs, but then you stuck with this. You continue to watch, you continue to subscribe, you continue to like, comment, send the feedback in, all the little things that one does, be it the music show on the radio or on the Vosa World TV channel, the Legbe Connect blog, the what you name it, you were there. I even started doing a little bit of Instagram stuff, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere you were there throughout the year. And the least I can do is to come and say thank you. Thank you for staying with me. And the year has started off. It already has a few sad notes to it. I've already had to post 3 obituaries in these 7 days. It kind of feels disconcerting. But as you know, I always keep talking about hope. No matter what happens, go up, come down, as they say, you just stick with it. You get up every morning and you're still here, then you continue to do what you need to do to stay afloat. And maybe better than stay afloat, to thrive still. For some of us, you get to the age that I'm at, turning 60 by the end of this year, you realize, automatically that you have much more of your life having already passed in the rearview mirror than you have ahead of you, because you're not going to live till 200, you're not going to live until 150 or 120. So naturally, you already know that what has gone behind you already is much more than what is left ahead of you. Even if you are the healthiest, I don't know, luckiest person, even if you live danger free, accident free, and you're healthy, you have much less time ahead. It's not meant to discourage you. It is not meant to keep you feeling bad and saying, okay, then what's the point? It's supposed to be to help you to think wisely and live intentionally. Take everything that you do seriously, or much more seriously. I'm not saying you shouldn't, have fun and do all the things that make life worth living. Definitely you should. What you shouldn't do, though, is to just get up every day and live randomly, haphazardly, and not give some thought, some serious thought into what it is that you are trying to do, to reflect, to do the things that you want. Wait, once you have a plan, I'm not the kind that necessarily does New Year resolutions. I mean, I will not put them on an Excel spreadsheet and say, okay, there's this thing, it needs to be done by this time. This other new item here needs to be done and taken care of by this timeline. So people function like that, and that is a very good thing. I mean, I'm saying I'm not the kind that does that. It doesn't mean I don't have an idea, a plan for where I'm going. I just am the kind of person who knows that realistically, sometimes those things we put down like that either don't get done or for some reason cannot get done. And then not all of us have the capacity, the mind to say, okay, that didn't get done. Yes, but I can always go ahead and rethink it, reshape it, repackage it, and try to get it done again, give it another try. So I have a problem with putting things down. When I come back and look at it and I didn't get it done on the day I had proposed to get it done, I tend to say, you tend to feel like you failed when you really technically haven't. So everything to each his own. Whatever works for you is what you do. If you're the kind that writes things down and knows how to check off things, and then what didn't get done, you can put it to tomorrow without feeling bad or feeling discouraged. Great for you. Some of us are the kind that think it intentionally and deeply and go with what we have to do, and then regroup, reflect, and move forward. But it doesn't mean that we don't have any thoughts and plans in mind. I don't know anybody who hopes to be successful at anything if they don't have any ideas, any thoughts in mind that they decide to work on. And that's where I'm going with this, to just not get up every morning and like, let's see how it goes. Every morning, let's see how it goes today. No, you should. Forget the age thing. I even said, no matter what, if you are a reasoning, thinking person, a student, a young adult, you still should have some plans and intentions in mind that you want to pursue, that you want to follow through with, that you want to see succeed. And you should be able to take stock of where you are at any given moment to see how far you've gone and what else you can do. Continue doing the same thing if it's working, and then tweak the plans or change them or reshape them if you need to change something. But that whole idea of living intentionally, purposefully is the word I should be using, maybe, is really important. And then another thing that I'm praying for this year is discernment, to be able to look at something, look at something critically, and figure out where there may be snags, where there may be things that don't look too right, and be able to avoid those and go in the direction of what is going to be successful, what's the right thing to do, to be able to tell between, because there's some things where you can clearly, glaringly see this is wrong. Somebody is saying, let's go to the Famla Nyongo. That's wrong. Leave it alone. I'm talking about the kinds of things that sometimes are wrong, but are not glaringly wrong. They're a little bit deceptive. They look like they might be right. They look like there's nothing so bad with them. You're like, what can possibly be wrong with this? Those are the kinds of things we need discernment for. To be able to look at it, and even though it looks good, it looks like it's packaged good, it looks like what our first aid and student companion used to say, it looks like gold, it glitters, but then it isn't. Many of us do need that, myself included, and that's what I'm praying for, about discernment. Sometimes an opportunity opens up there in front of you. The door looks like it's flung wide open, and you're like, why not walk right through it? But then if you give it some thought, you may realize there are some little loopholes in there somewhere, some little glitches and some little snags in there, and you want to be very careful about that, especially in a Yahoo world like the one that we live in right now. There's some things that really look good, really look legit. You get an email, it says Microsoft right there, it says Facebook right there. I'm not talking about the ones where they've actually spelled Facebook wrong with only one O in it, or they've spelled Microsoft and forgotten the R in it. That's so obviously glaringly fake. I'm talking about the ones that really look good. And they ask you to click here, click there, send money here and send money there. It looks like, hey, hi, it looks like this could be good. And you go and sink millions and dollars into it, and then you find out that you've been had. Those are the kinds of things I'm talking about, that I hope that not every door that opens up in front of you is necessarily the right door to walk through. It may just not be what you think it is. And that works for everything. A job opportunity that looks good there. The relationship, the person looks great, and you're like, you have not given it some thought, and if you stay there long enough, you may look at it, and then you may just start picking out what is just not right. And then those alarm bells start ringing in your head, and those little doubts start coming, and you look at it, and finally you say, thank God I dodged the bullet. So that's the thing. One of the things that I want to be praying for, being intentional, having the spirit of discernment, and then also being able to stay committed and dedicated to what one sets out to do. Because as they say, a new broom sweeps clean. The new year has begun. We are all ready to go. Like, yay, bring it on. I'm good to go. And then after a week, a month, a couple of months, an obstacle shows up, a glitch happens, things don't go quite as smoothly as we think. And then before long, we are like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to I've given up on this. Sometimes the things are big, old warning signs that tell you, no, you're not doing the right thing. Sometimes that's the case. But there are times when it's just the natural things that tend to happen in life that are stepping up there and just coming in your way, which you're supposed to fight against, which you're supposed to find ways to get around, which you're supposed to be able to overcome. Again, discernment will tell you that this is the thing, pursue it, this is the goal that you have. This is your divinely ordained thing that you're supposed to be doing. You're convinced about it in your heart. When the issues come, you face them, you look for solutions, you look for ways around the issue, and you stick with it. And again, as I said, that works for everything that you are involved in. Relationships. I'm not talking about only romantic relationships at all. Between colleagues, between siblings, there's a lot of strife there. There's a lot of things going on around the place. It doesn't mean that you just give up on all of those things. You're all involved in the thing. Have to work, make a concerted effort to try to make things work. You have to want to make things work. Relationships take work. You see smooth, happy relationships, marriages, situations, office conditions. It doesn't just happen like that by chance. The people involved are trying, making a clear effort to make it work. So you learn, for example, sometimes to put people's feelings ahead of yours. You make that sacrifice. Well, not say you should always put yourself last, but I'm saying sometimes you need to do that. You need to consider somebody else's feelings, sometimes ahead of yours, depending on the situation. And then there are other times when you can point things out. If there are things that are not going right, you can point things out, but point them out lovingly, with compassion, caring about how the other person is going to feel. All the things that you take to do. And then sometimes people do things for you. You want to turn around to and also do things for them. So you're not always on the receiving end, to the point that when you show up, somebody sees a text from you, they're like, okay, now wait again. What does this one want again now? I mean, that should not be it. They should be able to be a two-way street thing where you are giving, they are giving, and that things just work better that way. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean by dedication and commitment. In a group, you're sitting there, you have been given this position, you accepted it, then maybe you want to actually go ahead and work, put in what you need to put in there to make it successful. So those are the things, the few little things that have been on my mind about what I plan on doing, or how I plan on taking things in the year that has just begun. And I am hoping and praying that everything goes well, not just for me, but for you, because there's no need. It doesn't make sense for anybody to want to succeed by themselves. Because if you're successful, then and other people too are successful, it just makes a world that much happier than it should be. It shouldn't be the thing. If, unfortunately, even though that's what we do see from time to time, it shouldn't be a happy thing for you if you're succeeding by yourself and everybody else around you is miserable. That should cause a little dent on how happy you are. If other people are not around you are not happy. And it's not as if it's your responsibility to make them everybody around you happy. That cannot even happen. This is not utopia. This is the real world. But that's what we talk about, doing your own best, what you can within your own capacity, your own capabilities, to make things better for somebody else if you can. Because if they're happier, naturally you should be happier too. I know it doesn't work that way for people. There's some people who actually thrive on other people's unhappiness. If somebody else is happy, it makes them unhappy to see somebody else happy. Believe it or not, that is the case. But maybe not be one of those kinds of people. Maybe be the kinds of ones who are happy because we have made somebody else smile. We've made somebody else's life just better. They woke up, and I keep saying it, it's not just a financial thing that you give them money to go buy bread and sardine. I mean that you smile, that you call them, that you lend a listening ear, you lend a shoulder that they can lean on. That too is very, very important as we go along. So it's still the beginning of a new year. If you've already had those glitches I'm talking about, those setbacks I'm talking about, do not get discouraged. Keep that hope going. Continue to forge ahead. If you're one of those who's already bereaved, already has had things happen to you in just this miserable 7 days that we've had, this few 7 days that we've had, please, we know you're hurting, we know you're grieving, but don't let that get the best of you. Don't let it make you sink into some kind of pit, into depression. Still keep that smile on your face, still keep that hope alive, still keep wanting to move forward, because things will get better. So here I go again, talking and talking, but I really did come to say Happy New Year and Bonne Année, and to let you know that I do plan on being back on Monday, the 15th of January, in about a week's time, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. You should be off work. Most of us would be off work. And in Anglophone Cameroon, it's Country Sunday anyway, so nobody goes to work on the Monday. So I plan on fulfilling yet another promise I had made to come back and do a kind of online cry die for a friend, sister, daughter, mother, sibling, all the things that Marita Kusinjuwu was to us. We have laid her to rest, and it's time that we dust ourselves off a little bit too. She can never ever be forgotten, and that is what this whole thing is about, to make sure she is not forgotten, so that we look into her life, celebrate the person that she was, talk about what she meant to us as her friends, her sisters, or her members of the various groups that she was in, and talk about how her life impacted us and what we'd like to see, what we'd like to do about it moving forward, so that her legacy continues to just wax strong. That purposeful life she lived could not have been lived in vain. And if we just sit down there and just focus only on the crying and the sadness, then we wouldn't have done her justice. So that's the plan. We're putting everything together. I guess we'll put out the information there and send out the link so you can join us. But that's the plan. That's the idea. Monday, not Monday tomorrow, of course. Monday in a week's time. I believe the date is January 15th, 2024. I'll be back on one of these platforms, and I'll have a panel with me, DJ Skipper, members of our family, members of the group she belonged to, and do as befitting a cry die as we can for her. All right. I think it's time to go away now and let you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for listening even to this. And again, Happy New Year to you. I hope it ends up being your best year yet in every way possible. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bonne année. Happy New Year.